Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coach Unplugged. We're so excited you decided to join us. Make sure you go over and leave those 5-star reviews. If you like this, go over and listen to our other podcasts like the 5-Minute Basketball Coaching Podcast or High School Hoops or Funnel Down Defense or Coaching Youth Hoops or whatever one of the 7 in our network that you would like to listen to. But before we jump in, I'd like to give a big shout out to our 2 sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine on the market. They are always, what I love about Dr. Dish is they're always innovating. They're always making that a little bit better. And that's why I think they're the best machine out there. Like I've said before, we own 3 of them, and I would not be talking about them every day if I did not believe in them. Mention Coach Unplugged, they'll give you $450 off, and they'll give you A1 customer service. And then also what helps keep the lights on, what helps keep everything moving is teachhoops.com. It's for coaches who want to get better. It is a one-stop shop by a basketball coach for a basketball coach. I'm always working with my team 365 days a year, working on making us better. And I want to do the same thing for you. I'm giving you resources, one-on-one calls, office hours, a roadmap per se that will help you become a better coach. And we offer a 14-day free trial because I believe you should come in and kick the tires around and see if it's right for you. If it's not, that's fine. But I guarantee that you're going to love it. All right, let's head off to the podcast.
Coaches, welcome to another episode of Coaching Youth Hoops. I'm your coach, your host and coach, Bill Flitter. Today, we are joined by Coach Jacob Hanan. And he is going to share with us his experience with the Blitz. He's got lots of questions for us. Jacob is a coach in Seattle at the SHA Stars of David. Is that correct? Did I get that right?
Yep. Seattle Hebrew Academy Stars of David. Yep.
Okay.
That program. And thank you for having me, Coach Bill. I'm really honored to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you just tell us a little bit about who you are, your coaching career, and the team that your season's done, right? So
We just finished up.
yeah, awesome. Okay.
So my name is Jacob Hannon. I've been a head coach for about 13 years and started off at the Jewish Day School. It's a small middle school in Bellevue, Washington, which is just east of Seattle. Had an incredible 6 years there, just kind of building the program from the bottom up. They were kind of at a dark space when I had entered, and we had to revamp the culture really quickly. Fast forward a few years later, there was an opportunity to come over to Seattle Hebrew Academy, which is where I went to school. I'm an alumnus of the school, and I'm really honored to be coaching at my school because I actually replaced my coach at the school who had been there for 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that was a really special thing. And actually, at my last job, I actually coached against him for a few games actually, which was really fun. Coach A. So, but yeah, we're a small school. We have lower school and middle school basketball programs. And when I say small, we have about 130 students, K through 8. We average about 14, 15 in a class. We're both a general studies. We have dual curriculum, so we have Judaic studies from the religious standpoint and general studies as well. And the kids come after school from 3:30 to 5:15, starting in mid-October. We share a gym with the high school here. We have a high school that rents our gym. They're off-site, but they come and use it after us. And we're a small school. Most of our kids go to that high school, and most of the teams in our league are a lot bigger than us. We've battled some schools with 3, 4, 500 kids, and it's always a fun challenge. And we always embrace it, and it's a fun league to play in. And It's the Cascade Middle School League here in Seattle. And yeah, it's been great. And I've been here for 2 years. This is my second season, and my first season using the Blitz. We can kind of go into that a bit now if you want. But that's kind of my background, and that's what SHA basketball is, and that's who we are.
That's amazing though. 15 kids per class. It is
Yeah.
tiny. So you definitely have a challenge. How many kids typically come out for basketball, and how many grades do you have
Sure.
that play?
We do two teams. We do a 5-6 mainly team, and there are a couple beginner 7th grade players that will play on the JV kind of level. And we have a
Yeah,
varsity level, which is our 8th graders, our strong 7th graders. And once in a while, if you get like a really talented 6th grader,
they
they
go
might.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had one 6th grader go up this year for a half because we were low on bodies, and I got him a little experience this year. But other than that, it's pretty rare. And we practice. I mean, my philosophy as a coach is, I want my kids to be built for life,
Yeah.
high integrity and high character, kind of along the lines of Coach Chris Peterson from Boise and UW. I'm a big fan of his, believer in his philosophy, and I try to run my teams kind of similar to him. Um, but we practice a lot. We do a lot more than I would say a lot of the other teams in our leagues do. It's always been that way at our school. We're always 3, 4 days a week. We do not practice or play on Fridays or Saturdays because of the Sabbath, which is
Mm-hmm.
important in the Jewish faith. And
Yeah.
on Sundays, we have a lot of clinics, which are optional. Players don't technically have to go to them. I encourage them. We do get a lot of people that come out. But this year, we had about 25 kids in total come out between the two teams, which is a lot. It was definitely a challenge and a lot of fun too. So that's kind of where we were this year.
Yeah. Wow. And how many total kids play basketball in the school?
25 on the boys and 13 on the girls. And then we're going to do lower school teams. I try to do like a 4-5 and a 2-3. But the
Mm-hmm.
issue we found is in our league, there's just not a lot of teams to play. So I'm reaching out to other schools and other organizations,
Yeah.
try to set up some games for them. It's very introductory. But yeah, that's just kind of our school. So in total, we probably have on the boys side from 2nd grade to 8th grade. I'm just counting in my head here, probably around 40 to 42 players or so. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Between
Yeah. Oh, good for you. That's awesome. And in a small school like that, that's pretty impressive. And just in the idea of building a program starting with the younger kids, so by the time they get to you, right, they're going to be ready to go. Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
awesome. Yeah, well, good for you. I appreciate that. Appreciate you doing what you're doing for the kids. And I think one of the things that we're missing, we need to see more of is the true meaning of sports and why we should be coaching, right? It is the life lessons that sports teaches us, and as coaches we need to draw that correlation and help them through challenges and whatever sports brings their way, and the good times, the bad times, and so the ups and downs. So let's dive into your questions. I know you had a few questions, starting with the blitz versus a zone. Maybe you can just shed some light on there what you struggled with this year. And by the way, what was your record? Because I know you did pretty good.
We started off 7-2, and
Mm-hmm.
we had a big injury. It was unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
My top guy, who was averaging like I think around 19 to 20 a game and 10 boards, he was just tearing it up. He got hurt. He was out for our last month of the season. So we finished 9-5. Our league doesn't have playoffs yet. It's something they're kind of working on.
Mm.
Um, so I think we finished like 4th or 5th out of like maybe 16, 15, 16 teams, something like
Yeah.
that. Um, the blitz transformed our offense, especially against man-to-man. I was looking for something different this year, just to give the audience and you a little background. I was looking for something a little different this year, especially for man. Our man-to-man offense, we had a very talented team last year. We went 15-3. We played more games because we had a few canceled this year because of a rainstorm and the winds. But anyway, last year there were times against man-to-man where we really struggled. We get really stagnant. I ran out the classic 1-4, the UCLA cut and then the screen
Yeah,
roll
yeah,
side,
yeah.
the 4-out one in. And if teams would lock up my best guy, there wasn't like a good counter for that. That's
Mm,
kind of the
yeah.
struggle I faced. So I was looking in there. I spent tons of hours looking at different things. Like, what can I do that both is super effective, that is also simple to teach, that has a lot of different options, but also just has the main simple idea from the beginning, the simple concept of the drive, down screen, seal, and then the handoff around. We ran it, and teams had so much trouble with it, especially early on in games. They would then go to zone, or they would switch up or double our ball handler, or put in a trap or whatever, and it would just open up just these wide open layup opportunities for our guys. I love to get my playmakers the ball in space, like any coach would want
Yeah.
to do. And excuse me, not the zoom, the zoom or the blitz rather. We call it regular, but the blitz action is just so effective in getting your playmakers the ball in space. And as a result, I mean, on teams we would struggle. We'd average maybe 35, 40 points a game. Now we're averaging like 55. We hit some 60-point games, and we run short games, 2 20-minute halves with a running clock.
Mm,
Very
hmm
few stoppages. So
Yeah.
play shorter games. And we saw a good 15-20% increase, especially in most games we played, of just able to get our playmakers in space. It's that simple.
Yeah.
I think where we run into issues was against zone, and I'd love to learn more about that. For
Sure.
sure.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that feedback too, and that's exactly right. I mean, that's what the Blitz does. It opens up those huge gaps, and it gives a place for everyone on the team, no matter their level, to do something. Your playmakers are going to probably make more of the plays, but the ball handoffs and just the circle motion of that, and just creates those huge gaps. And like you said, it's hard for teams to keep up. But yeah, against the zone, so. No shot clock, right?
No shot clock. Yep.
No
No
shot.
shot
Okay, good.
clock.
Just want to make that clear. So I know. So you ran into 1-3-1, three
1-3-1 a
two, and
lot.
2-3.
Yeah, we saw all kinds of zones this year.
Okay.
Teams would switch as soon as we gash them a few times, would blitz them to death, and they'd switch to
Just
a one.
switch the zone. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll start there. Let's start with the 1-3-1. Is it a kind of a trapping
Yeah, they
1-3-1?
like
They're
to trap
trying to.
that top guard. And that's the other thing too with our program is we're small. Every year we're small, and we love to play fast,
Yeah.
and press and do all those fun things. But once we get into the half court, definitely our weakness as a program is like, okay, we're a smaller team. We run the blitz. We love to attack off the screen and the dribble. It's like, okay, how can we spread out the zone and then be able to attack still? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
was
yeah,
what we
yeah,
wanted to
yeah, yeah,
do.
yeah. And I'm assuming the one is coming high above the
Yeah.
arc, and then the three are across the top of the free throw line extended. And then you got
Yeah,
the
or a little
one
higher.
sitting in the middle. Or even, yeah, sometimes a little higher. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay. So the 1-3-1 using the blitz is slightly different. Um, but what we typically do, especially at the grade school level, is I have this concept we call it hot potato. And what happens is, if you can imagine, you have against a 1-3-1, because it's an odd front, then you want to have an even, right, with your players. So we stick two up very high. I don't know if I have a picture of this. I'll have to look. While I talk, I'll look at my playbook if I have it, and we can show it.
So it sounds like a blitz out of a slightly different formation. Is that what
It
I'm understanding?
does. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, here I do have it.
Cool.
I could show it. It does have a slightly different formation. And um, it's called volley,
Mhm.
I guess. Yeah, or my team calls it hot potato, but it's volley. Let me show my screen so you can see. I'm going to hear coaches say, "Well, this is not basketball," and but the whole idea is somebody's going to sit in a zone. Let's see, where is it here? 1-3-1. There we go. Somebody's going to sit in a zone with me on at the grade school level, knowing that they can't shoot at a high percentage, right? For the most part. What we do is if you look at here, we're just throwing the ball back and forth. As soon as X1 commits, we throw it back. If X2 comes up and tries to trap that, 3 is going to be open. We set some screens and everything else. But
Not
point is,
basketball.
what's
College teams
that?
do that. I'm like, why is that not basketball? College teams do that against the 1-3-1.
Yeah, and all we're doing is
You
well,
know?
because I've heard that before. I get some parents mad from the other teams, and
Uh,
then so what and do I care? I don't care, no. So
yeah.
what we're trying to do is actually we are trying to pull those two out because there's no coach in the country that is patient enough with when you don't have a shot clock to see these two players go back and forth with the ball. So they're going back and forth in the ball, and then we're waiting to hear the coach from the other team yell, "Go get the ball," or "Go trap the ball," right? So at that
Yep.
point, their defense is going to be in a scramble, and that's when we strike. As soon as we hear that trap or see the trap coming, the opposite person cuts. You can see in this picture, right? They're coming there with the trap. Boom, get the ball right there. Then we drop, and then you have first you start off the one-on-one, then you have options for 3 and 5 down low, right? So I like one-on-one situation. That person just attacks, right? Tries to draw this. Do I have that on the next slide? Tries to draw. This is just another version of it. Uh,
Mhm.
Tries to draw this middle person in. 3 can space, right? Or they can collapse
Mhm.
too, depending what type of player they are. 4 commits over, and then you got 5 wide open. 4 can drop as well, right? So it gives you, it's not the true blitz, but it gives you some options to quickly get out of that and get layups um, off of their zone, right?
And
I
what do you do if
never, yeah.
5 comes up to take away 2? Then you just try to get it to 3 real quick on the corner, or
Yeah, exactly. Because four has to cover 2 people, right? So
yeah,
if 3 pops out and drags 4 with them, then 5 is going to come down there, right? You should have really quickly a mismatch,
yeah,
right? Uh, but yeah, obviously, if you sit there and don't do anything, then everybody's just going to reset. So you got to be really quick about it.
for sure.
Uh, but yeah, having this 3 drop and getting the ball to them, and then again, depending what type of are they a 3-point shooter, then you'd want to move them out to kick the ball. X4 commits, then you have 5 that's going to be open. It's a real quick hitter to get a score. And you can see here
I
too
like it.
what happens. So two's dribbling in, right? X5 now is the defender. Now look, right? You got to make some choices.
Yep.
Right. So X4 has got to come and help. That's going to leave 3 open, even if X4 goes there on 3, right? You're going to have 5 open. Um,
The whole
X5,
zone's collapsed.
the whole zone is basically collapsed. Yes. And then just a couple times, 4 can come in, sneak in there, got a pass, right? We
Yeah,
our girls do that a lot. Well, they just come dump in the middle. And again, this is really quick, right? It's
yeah.
boom, boom, boom. And you got it. So you got your 1 out there for the space. You got 3 kind of in the short corner, 5 on the weak side block. And again, you're just attacking that zone and it breaks down pretty quickly. Once you get this going and get this person running back and forth, you're going to pull up another person right away, right? You're going to pull up X2 here or even here. So you should have a nice mismatch, right? If they're trying to
And you're
trap
getting into
that.
the middle there with that guard coming across the 2.
Say that one more time.
Oh, I'm just saying it, like you said, like the key then would be just to get that ball quickly to 2. Once that guard comes up in the middle
That's right.
there, yeah,
Yeah.
right away, you fake up, go down, or fake one way, go the other way, and bounce pass
Yep.
or whatever. Awesome.
Something. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. We don't hold the ball. Obviously, when we see that commit, we get it right to 2 and they attack. So,
And if they
and
run
that's
it
what we want.
higher up, you would just kind of slide it up a little higher, right?
Yeah, you just go up a little higher. Yeah, it doesn't matter,
Got it.
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if it is higher, even better because it leaves this whole back side exposed. Uh, and I started doing this because I never had great shooters from the outside. I may have one, right? that's
Mhm.
decent, and then from there it just kind of drops. So I need to get layups, right, or short
I know
jump
the game.
shots.
Yep.
Oh, and that's why we just did because I would literally, coach, I was racking my brain coming up with every zone attack, right? Well, you know how long that takes
I've
to
been there.
coach it. Yeah. So I literally came up with this on the fly in a game. We were just getting killed by um, a team that was trapping up on the top. And
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm sorry, they packed it was I think it was a 1-3-1. Yeah, it was a 1-3-1. And we were just getting killed, and we couldn't score. And it's okay, girls, just pass back and forth. There's no shot clock. So just pass back and forth until the coach starts yelling to go get the ball, and then, then slip, and you're gonna have a mismatch. I mean, you're gonna outnumber. It's gonna be a 3 versus 2 situation. Oh, anyway, and then we kind of perfected it over time on what does everybody else do, right? We always want to overload one side, but this is in your Blitz playbook too, so it's there now. Yeah. And then let's skip. Well, we can go to a 1-2. Doesn't change. Doesn't change much. We still are doing volley going back and forth on this, right? Um, one of these guys usually commits, even if this was higher, sometimes you see X3 in this case, and X2 sitting right here at the
Yeah.
3-point line. But it works the same. Now, this is kind of more true to the Blitz situation where you can see we still set those down screens versus a 1-2-2, right?
Yep.
So we have down screen right there. Okay. And then, two should have a shot or a drive in. And you can see here if they can then commit. One is going there. Do I have one more? Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. See that? Then you're going to have a dump. That's what usually happens right there.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of, again, another quick, um, movement of the ball to attack the middle. And we
Love
want
how
the,
downhill everything is.
yeah, it's always,
Usually
yeah.
against the zone offense, with a typical zone offense, it's a lot of like, okay, we got to get the ball from this side to the other, and we're trying to go high, low, or whatever, and they may take that away if they're a bigger team. This is like, okay, we're gonna get the ball in the middle of the zone by passing quickly and then getting downhill, which I
Yeah.
really like.
Yeah, attack and kick if you have, and if it's not there, you just do it again. Come up top,
Yeah.
pull it up, reverse it. But we like setting those down screens on a 1-2-2 because now and then you down screen and you can open up towards the ball, right? And that defender is now behind you. And then
Seal.
in that particular case, yeah, you seal, and then three can dip right there for a little shot as well, seal their player, and they're going to have an inside look. Could have an inside look there too. So little variations of that. If you have a shooter, great, right? You can see here you can pull out one. It's not like X1 isn't going to chase them, but
But even if they chase them, you got them going one way, they can pump fake and go by or whatever. That's a
that's
long
right.
play.
That's a
Tough
long.
play.
is a tough closeout. Yeah, exactly. So just a couple, just simple, easy things to, try. We actually, because I still remember this game. Um, we were playing this high school team when we were in 8th grade, and they were running. Don't ask me why they were in our tournament. I have no idea. Who knows? Say either they weren't telling the truth of who they were or whatever. I don't know what it was. But anyway, we were playing them. They ran a 1-2-2, a very aggressive trapping 1-2-2, and I drew up hot potato for the girls again, and we were able to stick with them. We ended up losing in double overtime by
Wow.
by 1 point. And I've never seen girls happier or a team happier after losing in double overtime, because they knew they were outmatched the entire game. We were down 15 at one point, and then clawed back against the 1-2-2 just by simply attacking and moving the ball like this. And they didn't have an answer. They didn't have an answer for it. Sometimes, depending on, if you look at the 1-2-2 configuration, depending on how aggressive these two are, right?
Yeah.
We will just run the traditional blitz. So ball handoffs, down screens on X5 and X4, right? Come up, ball handoff, that type of thing. I'll also, again, this kind of traditional, you can put 5 in the middle right here, right? And then distribute the ball. But that works really well if you have shooters, right?
Yeah.
And
zone outward, yeah.
Yeah, and we typically don't. So I need to get layups off of stuff. So that's that. And then against a 2-3, nothing actually, I think I have that in here. Nothing changes for me on a 2-3. 2-3 is the easiest one to run.
And the down screens happen on those bottom two defenders there again, I assume?
Yeah, exactly. So you can see here on this one, right? You just set those down screens, come up, ball handoff. What happens is you're just getting, okay, old school way, prior to the blitz. Overload one side, fast passes, penetrate the gaps, swing passes. That's how we would teach.
We have a gaps play. We have a gaps play. That's our,
Yeah, so that's what we used to teach against how do you beat a zone, right? Just simple principles. Now we're doing the exact same thing, but we're doing it with ball handoffs and down screens.
Hey, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want to hear more of these, go over and join teachhoops.com. 14-day free trial allows us to do this, and then subscribe, jump up and down, do whatever you got to do. Tell us what you want to hear in the future. Steve at teachhoops.com. All right. Have a great day.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Memorial Day doorbuster deals are here at Lowe's. Right now, Rewards members save $80 on the Master Forge 4-burner gas grill, now just $149. Plus, Rewards members save $900 on the Lowe's exclusive Hisense French door refrigerator, now only $999. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.